this is the team that I think. Well, I think the conversation is back to potentially hosting a few games in Ames. So the conversation is certainly there, and who knows? Getting back to 500 is huge in conference play, and looking at the Big 12 schedule for the ladies the rest of the way, this is going to look like a lot of these games are very winnable, and as long as you
Mhm.
take care of business and then maybe you go to TCU and win there, you can find yourself hosting a few NCAA tournament games, and this would be a team I certainly would not want to play against. If Iowa State was to be a lower seed, a higher seed, you probably wouldn't want to play this team at full strength.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them as a lower seed taking it, and almost took Cameron Brink and Stanford to the brink out in Palo Alto. So, really excited to see how this women's team finishes. All right, like we said, Cody, we are going to do a look into Colorado and K State because the Colorado game is tonight and the K State game is on Sunday. I have Evan Maya up, and we can take a look at their analytics. So we are gonna do that and take a look at what type of team we're facing.
Yeah, so Colorado, they come into the game 12 at the end of the year. They are 2-5 in the Big 12, but those five losses in conference, they've been competitive in all the games they've lost in. They almost beat Texas Tech. They only lost by two against the number 14th ranked Texas Tech. They did lose to Cincinnati by 9 points. Kept it a bit competitive for at West Virginia. And then they were in the game against Kansas, and there was a point where maybe Colorado could pull off the upset, and then against UCF, they kept up with them for the most part. So Colorado has been pretty competitive in the Big 12. They just haven't been able, for one reason or another, to really get over the hump and find a win. But yeah, this is probably going to be a Colorado team that maybe comes out, tries to really assert themselves because obviously they can be competitive, that's for certain. So the thing I look at for the most for Iowa State is you're Iowa State, you're coming into this game as 16.5 point favorite. So ideally, what you want out of Iowa, like if you're Iowa State, you want to do what you've been doing the last couple of games. You start out fast, you knock them out within the first 10 to 15 minutes, and you don't let them get anywhere close. So that's what we saw in Stillwater, Oklahoma State. Iowa State got up to a 30-point lead at halftime and won by double digits.
Yeah, starting off fast is going to be key for Iowa State. I don't really think that there's a way. I honestly don't think that there's a way that they truly lose this game. And really the analytics here show it. You look at their offensive efficiency numbers the last few games. You see that they had a pretty good offensive efficiency, but their defensive efficiency was a 136 because they gave up 95 points. Then you see in the Kansas game is that their offensive efficiency was all right, and their defense efficiency was pretty good, except that. So like basically, um, in offensive and defensive efficiency, the best that they looked was obviously against Utah, a lowly team. But against the tougher teams, that's usually when their offensive or defensive efficiency goes out the window. And obviously, you can see that with their um, top two players, their defensive Bayesian Bayesian ratings go down on the defensive side of the ball, which causes them about zero point 0.3 wins a game. So obviously, they're not really um, a good defensive team. I will say so. Being able to get inside the paint and getting Joshua Jefferson going, I think is going to be a key in this game for the Cyclones.